Rumors have been floating around that a bunch of Trudeau-era MPs are set to leave caucus, and one of the ministers in question is Melanie Joly. Well, during her visit to South Korea and Japan, she spoke with reporters and had this to say.
No problem. Do you have any interest in becoming Canada's ambassador to France?
Absolutely not. I'm focused on my job right now, which is to be the Minister of Industry and to fight for every single job in this country at a time of trade tensions. And so I'll continue to do that. I think, and Mackenzie, I think also what is really important is I have a very strong sense of duty towards my country. And I'm very much aware that we have to be able to engage with the private sector and also with governments. So two of my expertise, which is business and at the same time geopolitics, are actually very useful for Canada right now.
Even if she were set to leave caucus, she wouldn't openly say it, as that would only make reporters want to go further down the rabbit hole. And if she does stick around like she's claiming, don't expect anything to get better.
Hi, Minister.
Hi, Nugent.
Our understanding is that, as you mentioned, supports are coming today for the steel industry. Is this an acknowledgement that a trade deal with the U.S. Is increasingly unlikely?
Well, listen, when it comes to any form of negotiations with the US, we'll let the Prime Minister do his work.
We'll let him do his work because he's done such a phenomenal job so far. We're just gonna let him continue. My God, he literally had to apologize for saying, "Who cares?" when asked if he was still in contact with the Trump administration. Based on that interaction alone, no, he probably doesn't care, and he probably doesn't have good contact with that administration. Whenever Carney walks by reporters, you see a sad, defeated man who doesn't even want to talk to them. Whether he sees it as a waste of time, or he just simply doesn't have any answers to their questions, it's pretty telling that he has tried every card in his book and has failed miserably.
Hi, Minister.
Hi,
thanks
Steve.
for taking the call. You talked about speaking to Lockheed Martin, and I presume to see if we can get more industrial benefits from Lockheed Martin for the F-35. What most of us remember is that there was a competition, a pretty lengthy competition in which we considered industrial benefits, we considered the technical merits of the plane, and in fact, it was your predecessor, Mr. Champagne, who signed off on the industrial benefits from the F-35. So the idea that you're going back to Lockheed Martin to seek industrial benefits, are we to take that this is that Mr. Champagne didn't do his job and that there's something you can do that he didn't do? Because he's now the finance minister and he was part of the same government that made the decision based on, what F-35 was offering. So did he do something wrong?
Well, Steve, listen, my job is to be able to defend jobs in Canada in the context of trade tensions. And what is really, really important to understand is that we suspended the contract on with Lockheed on F-35 back in the spring. And so in that sense, we did so because there were different reasons, but including the fact that we thought that we didn't get enough industrial benefits. And so I'll continue to make sure that we defend our point, and at the same time, I'll continue to engage with the company.
Second question is about the measures you discussed at the outset of the call, the measures to limit steel imports from other countries. Right now, we have 25% tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminum, and we're trying to reset relations with China to build relations, to build new export markets, to do exactly the sort of thing that you're doing as you travel through Asia. Doesn't this work at cross purposes with our efforts to repair relations with China? Now we have to inform them that we're going to be limiting their steel imports in addition to the 25% tariffs we slapped on them last year.
Well, listen, the Prime Minister will have more to say regarding the different measures we'll be announcing today. But when it comes also to our engagement with countries, I think that many countries around the world understand that the steel sector is a very specific sector, which is highly impacted across the world, including in Europe, including in Canada, with 50% tariffs. And so Europeans are in the midst of protecting their own market to make sure that they protect their own jobs in Germany and Spain, etc. And we're doing the same. Meanwhile, we want to be able to work with countries with which we have free trade agreements, including, of course, Europe and including with certain Asian countries. And so for the rest, when it comes to our trade relationships with China and others, our approach has always been no surprises. So our goal is to be able to engage with these countries while we're just defending our national interests.
It sounds like the Liberal government is trying to have their cake and eat it too. They want to strengthen trade with other countries, but are simultaneously tariffing them and restrict trade on certain goods. And it really sounds like they're struggling to make up for the loss with trade in the US. No matter which country they run to, it will not equal the amount we trade back and forth from the US. Anyway, I'd like to know what you think down in the comment section below, and have a good one.